and a very warm welcome to another podcast episode here on my channel. This is episode 7 and I will be showing you some of my finished objects and some of my work in progresses and everything. So that's what is on today's agenda. I hope that you are all doing well. I'm doing well. I'm a little bit tired because the past 2 weeks at work we started with experiment and lab work, and it's just taking a lot of time. But I prefer that over office days anyways. But yesterday I started work at 9 in the morning and I finished at 11 in the evening. That's when I got home. So it was a long day, but it's not like it's like that all days. It's just maybe once or twice per month. But yeah, we're doing some experiments now. It's like the lab experimental part, and that's part of research. So yeah, it takes a bit of time, so I'm a little bit tired, but I really wanted to come on here and film another episode because I have a lot of finished objects and some projects that I'm working on currently, and I just remembered that I forgot to bring one. So just hold on 1 second and I will be right back. Okay, now we have it. Now we can get started. I am sitting on the floor today. I bought some new plants, so I thought that they would make a pretty nice like background detail, and I really hope that it's not a problem that I'm not facing the window, that I'm not facing the light, that the light is coming the other way. I will see it when I edit, I suppose, but I just thought it would be like a nice environment to sit here. And I just want to show you because I'm proud of this. I started growing a lemon tree maybe 1 or 2 years ago from a lemon seed, and look how big it has gotten. It has gotten a new pod and it has a lot of new leaves coming. So yeah, I just wanted to show you because I'm proud of it. But okay, let's get into today's video. First, I have a really fun announcement to make. It is that I have published a pattern. I showed you this headband that I made in my last podcast episode. It's a lace detail headband with some I-cord straps so that you can tie it in the back of your head. And I have released it as a pattern. It's a free pattern. It's on Ravelry. And it can be found if you search for Rose Cotton Headband. And it took a lot of courage for me to publish it because I have never published a pattern before. And it's the first time I am writing a pattern also. And I thought I would make it free as a little summer gift to the knitting community because like we spend money on our material that we use for making like yarn, needles and everything, and this is such a small project, so I just thought I would make it free. And I have received some comments, a lot of really lovely comments, and I'm so happy that the pattern is doing so well. It was actually it reached the top 1 on Spotlight debut patterns. Like, how crazy is that? So I am so happy that people are liking it. It was a joy to make and I really enjoyed writing the pattern also. But I have received a few comments that there are some errors in the charts, and I'm gonna work on updating that version when I have a little bit more time. And yeah, and I also received a comment that someone is gonna make a summer scarf out of it, which you can do if you don't start with doing the I-cord bands, then you can make like a long version scarf without the bands basically, and then you just make the lace pattern much longer, and then you can have it as like a cute little summer scarf accessory. I'm gonna try to link the pattern below in the description box if you're curious so you can also go ahead and make it. It's knit on 2.5mm needles, and I use Sandnes garn Tynn Line, and it uses not even half a skein. Like, it's a really good stash buster. Unfortunately, I don't have battery for my scale, so I couldn't weigh how many grams it is, but it's much less than half a skein, so it's just a great stash buster, and it looks very cute for the summer. So that was just a little small announcement. Now moving on to my finished objects. I am wearing 2 finished objects today. The first one is my Darjeeling Blouse. It's by Trust the Mojo Knits, right? Yeah, Trust the Mojo Knits, or Trust the Knits Mojo. I'm gonna write it out which word comes first in the name. I think it's Trust the Mojo Knits. But it's a Darjeeling blouse, and it was an absolute joy to knit. It went so fast. I think I finished knitting it in 3 weeks. And considering that it's a fingering weight yarn, like, it just went so fast. I thought that this garment would be like a not a progress thing, but I would work on it throughout the summer because it's such a lightweight yarn, but no, it went so fast. And I love it. I'm gonna see if I can show you some of the details, because it has beautiful lace details at the bottom and also at the sleeves. It looks so beautiful, and I choose some very gorgeous buttons to sew on, and it is worked from what do you call it, downwards and upwards. It's not top down, it's like down up. Can you say it like that? Yeah. And then it's finishing off with an I-cord edge around the edges, and it is seamless, which I love because I don't like seaming at all. I'm gonna try to make a lot of garments that doesn't involve seaming from now on. And it also has a bit of a saddle, it is a saddle shoulder construction, which I didn't think that I would like, but I actually do, because it's seamless, so I like it that way. But yeah, I normally go for drop shoulder designs. I think they look better on me. It's just my personal preference. But yeah, I do think that this one also looks really good. And yeah, like I said, it was an absolute joy to knit. I highly recommend it. It went so fast. And the yarn is, let me see if I have a skein left of it. I do. I think I have 2.5 skeins left actually. So I can make something else out of this yarn. It's the Drops Loves You 7 in the color 31. It's called Pistache, and it's a lovely pistache green, but it's more like sage green, I would say, color. And it's a cotton yarn, 100% cotton. And usually when I work with cotton, I find it to be very harsh, like it doesn't flow that easy on my needles. But this time I worked on metal needles. So this garment is knit on 3.5mm, I'm just gonna say that. And I worked with metal needles. Usually I prefer wood needles, or bamboo needles, but this time I worked with metal. And the yarn, yeah, you get what I mean. It went so smoothly on my needles. So that's probably a reason why it took me only 3 weeks to finish it. I think that the pattern calls for a bit thicker yarn, actually. But yeah, I choose to knit it with fingering weight yarn, because to me, summer garments, they need to be like really light and breezy. So, and it worked well. It really did. There's just a few, I'm not gonna say mistakes, but like a few stitches that I made that looks a bit weird. I'm gonna see if I can have a close-up of them later, but there are a few stitches that just, they don't look as smooth as the other one. It's when you're doing the decreases for the saddle construction. On one side, the decreases are really showing, and it also created like a gap in the fabric that I'm not such a big fan of. But that could be because I just didn't know really how to do the decreases. So it's nothing with the pattern, it's just that it was my inexperience in doing those decreases. But yeah, it's such a lovely summer garment. I've had a bit of use of it already. I had it to my boyfriend's birthday party, and a lot of his family members, they really complimented me on it, and they thought it was so cute, and it just made me so happy. It always makes me so happy when I can say, yeah, I knit this one. I don't know, it's just such a joy to be able to say that you have made a garment that you're wearing. So yeah, I will be wearing it a lot more, but right now it's even really hard just wearing it here inside, because we have been having some really warm days here in Belgium lately. So yeah, and my apartment, it becomes like a sauna. I had, the other day, it was like 29.1 degrees at 10 o'clock in the evening inside, and then I had to go to bed. I was like, oh, not nice. Anyway, the second finished object that I have is my beautiful little headscarf. I don't know how well you can see it. I'm gonna see if I can insert a clip of a bit of a close-up to it, but it's a headscarf. It's the Romanticist bandana by Maed. I'm sorry, I have my notes here. Maed. And I knit this one in Viking garn Bambino. I think I should have the label somewhere. Ah, yeah. It's in Viking garn Bambino, and it is the color number 462. It's 50% bamboo and 50% cotton, and this yarn, I have talked about it a lot already because I have knitted my Ranunculus t-shirts in this yarn, and I absolutely love it. It's such a flowy yarn, and I just thought it would be perfect for a bandana that needs like some flow to it, and I just think it's so gorgeous. I love the look of a bandana. It looks so cottagecore, and yeah, I can just imagine myself with like a basket outside picking flowers, having my bandana. I don't know, it just gives off such a summer countryside cottage vibe, and I am all here for it. I absolutely love it. And it was quite a quick project. The mistake that I made with this one is that I worked it on the same metal needles as I did for my Darjeeling blouse, but with the bamboo yarn it makes the fabric very silky, so I had a lot of issues with my stitches wanting to drop off. So if I'm gonna work with, of course I am, because I love this yarn, so when I'm gonna work with Viking garn Bambino or bamboo, again I'm gonna do it on wooden needles because that just goes much better. I think that the pattern calls for, let me just check real quickly. Yeah, it's supposed to be knit on 3.75mm needles and using a DK weight yarn, but I chose to knit with 3.5mm needles, and I believe this is also a fingering weight yarn. It's what I had at home. I wanted to make some use of my stash, and it worked good for me. I did one less repeat of the lace pattern because this fabric got very stretchy, so I didn't want it to be way too big, so I just did one less repeat of the lace pattern, and for me it just works great, I think. So that's a small little finished object that I have. And then moving on to a ranunculus again, but this time it's a long sleeved ranunculus. This is my first long sleeve that I have made for myself, and this is worked in Viking garn, bamboo this time. And let me just check for the color. It is color number 668, and it's a lovely mauve kind of purple color. I hope that it shows on camera quite properly which color it has, but I am very happy with it. It's such a flowy, lovely garment to have in the summer. However, usually I have made my ranunculus with 2 strands of Viking garn Bambino, which creates a little bit thicker fabric, and I thought that the Viking garn bamboo would be equally as thick because it is like 1 yarn weight higher, thicker, but sadly no. So this garment has a bit more gape to it, especially on the shoulders. Let me see if I can show it somewhat. Like especially here, it has a lot more gape, which I'm not a big of a fan of because I feel like it might wear out too quickly. I've been afraid to like wear a backpack with it because when I go to work, I need my work computer and it's quite a big one. So I'm afraid that like the weight of it is gonna make the stitches pull out even more. So that's a little bit disappointing. And at one point I even considered ripping it all, unraveling it all, and make something else out of this yarn, because with a ranunculus you work it on 6mm needles, and the thinner yarn you have, the more gape you're gonna have in your garment. And since I didn't think that this yarn would be as thin as it was, it's not that thin, but like it was just thinner than I expected it to be, then it created more gap in the fabric, which is not what I intended for it. So we will see. I'm just so in love with this color, however, and I want to make many more things with this, but if I do other projects, I'm gonna use smaller needles so that I don't have that much gape. But for a summer sweater, it's really nice. It's just airy and breezy, and it just has a really nice drape to it. So overall I am quite happy with it, but we will see. It's just the top part where it gapes too much that I'm not so happy with. But yeah, with a ranunculus you can never go wrong. I even got my mom to start making ranunculus. She has made, I think, 3 now, and it's only been like a month. So, and she's a beginner knitter, so it's been going fast for her. This ranunculus I finished within 2 weeks. I was very happy with that. It was a project that just flew off my needles because it was just so fun, and it just worked out so fast. So that's my 3rd finished object. Where am I gonna put this one? I'm gonna put it over here. No, over here. Okay, so my 4th finished object, it's I think I showed this in my last podcast episode, and then I just had started a teeny tiny bit with it. It's another rippled bralette, and it is made in a yarn that me and my mom plant dyed ourselves. It is with red onion skins, and I just thought that I could make a bralette out of it because I needed one. Unfortunately, I made it a bit too small, so whenever I wear this one I have a little bit of underboob, but I just always wear a garment like a t-shirt or a blouse over it, so it's not like it shows. It's more like I wanted to make it to cover my nipples, because when I wear something white, my nipples can kind of shine through, and I don't want that. So I just thought that I would make a quick bralette to solve that problem, but then I had another problem that it created an underboob instead. But yeah, I've been using it a little bit whenever I've been wearing anything that is quite see-through. But it doesn't matter if I have an underboob or not. But yeah, it was just a quick project. It just took me a couple of days to finish it. So yeah, I really love the rippled bralettes. Thank you so much Martina from We Grow Wild, who recommended this pattern in so many of her videos. It's thanks to her that I have made so many. This is my third one, and I'm actually having a fourth one on my needles that I'm gonna show you a bit later. So yeah, I don't think I have that much more to say about it. It's cotton yarn. It's really nice for the summer. It feels really good on my skin. Yeah, it's just a nice little undergarment piece. Okay, moving on to some work in progress that I have. Those are all my finished objects, so let's see my work in progress. I still have to finish my Billet doux shawl by Fox and Folk. It has been transferred to just like a spare piece of yarn, because I needed the needles from this project for another project that I'm making. And since this is in drop soft tweed, which is a wool yarn blend, I think, yeah, it's a lot of wool in it anyway. It's just a bit too warm for me to work with it during the summer, but this is still a work in progress that I have, and I just wanted to show you really quickly. Even though I haven't made any progress since last time, I just wanted to show you that it's still here, still waiting to be finished. But the project that I needed the needles for is this one. Let's see if I can show it somewhat nicely. Oh, this is a little bit of a mess. I worked on it yesterday, so it's a bit of a lump of things now. It is a cardigan that I've been working on. I am half following a pattern from Drops Design. It's called Trip to Provence cardigan, but I am making a lot of modifications to it. So it's a heavily modified one. Modified one, not a modified. But I'm following the stitch count for that one approximately, but then I am making some own modifications to it. But it's with this lace panels in the front on each side, which creates a very, looks uneven now because I'm holding it uneven. Yeah, sorry. It's 2 lace panels at the front, and then I am working it with a built-in button band. I didn't want to pick up stitches to knit the button band later, so I have done the buttonholes already. They look a bit funny, but that's okay. And then I'm gonna pick up stitches along the edges and make an I-cord. And I haven't made any ribbing or anything at the bottom, because I'm gonna pick up stitches and make an I-cord around here also, like I have done on the sleeves. One sleeve is already finished, and I want to finish off all edges with an I-cord for once, because I hate ribbing. I think ribbing it's not that fun to knit. Even though I made a lot of ripple bralettes, which is only ribbing, but when it comes to doing ribbing in garments like this, I don't like it. I don't know why. And I wanted to see how it will look with an I-cord edge instead. There is just one slight little problem that I have. I think I might have made the neckline bind off too big, because when I wear it, the weight of the sleeves makes the garment pull down on my shoulders, which is not really what I am going for with this one, but we will see when it's all finished, when I have made sorry, when I have made the I-cord edge along the neckline and the front row. Maybe that will tighten it up a little bit, hopefully, so that it doesn't drop off as much. I'm gonna have some water. It is knit with, do I have a skein left? I do. It is knit with drops belle in the color 26. It is called Pearl, and it is a 53% cotton, 33% viscose, and 14% linen blend, and it's just absolutely lovely for the summer. I really like drops belle. I have used it before for other garments, and I just really wanted a cardigan in it, so that's what I decided to make. And I'm making this one on 4mm needles. That's what I needed to put my Billet doux shawl on hold for a while, so that I could take the needles and work this one. And this has also been a very quick project. I started it maybe 3 weeks ago. I think I uploaded the last podcast episode, and then 1 week after that I started with this one, so it should have been like 3 weeks maybe. I have finished a lot of things. Wow. Like, it's fun when you see it in like retrospect, like how much you've actually done. Yeah. But I am very much looking forward for this project to be finished, and so that I can wear it during the summer months. And I only have one sleeve left and then finishing touches, so I think I'm gonna finish it pretty soon. And maybe you have noticed a pattern here, and that is that I absolutely love this type of lace stitch. It's my favorite one. I think it looks so elegant, and I love it. Okay, I don't think I have that much to say about this right now, and I will come back to this one later when I have finished it. Maybe I have some more updates about it then. And then moving on to my other work in progress. Okay, let's see. No, it's gonna be like that. Here is my fourth ripple bralette. It's a small start, but it's a modified one because I am not making the 3x3 ribbing on the body. I'm just doing pure stockinette stitch. I wanted something that looks just very simple, and it's also gonna be just one of those little bralettes that I can wear under my garments when I don't want my nipples to show. So yeah, I found some stash yarn. It's Sandnes garn, Mandarin petite. I don't have the label, so I don't know which color it is, but it's like just a cream off-white color. And this time I am making it slightly bigger. My last one, this one I made in extra small, but this one I'm making in size small because I want to make sure that I do not have any under boob. So this is gonna be like a under boob safe bralette. Yeah, it's just a small start. I take it with me to work sometimes, working on it when I'm having some lunch. I can just sit and knit and talk to my colleagues, or when I'm on the train. It's just really easy. Yeah, I don't have that much more to say about it. I've talked about ripple bralettes in my in my previous podcast episode, so it's knit on 3.5mm needles, and it's by Jessie Maed Designs. Yeah, okay. And then I have just two small yarn acquisitions I want to show. because I need help deciding what to make with it, because I don't know really. I bought these two, are they called yarn cakes? These two cakes? I think so, yeah, they look like cakes. I bought these two in a yarn shop at my boyfriend's hometown. They were on sale, and I've been eyeing this one for like a year maybe, and they finally got this yarn back in stock again, and it was on sale, so I was like, I have to buy it. It's silk dégradé by concept by Katja, and it is 35% silk, 35% cotton, and 30% viscose. And it says it's supposed to be knit on, whoa, it's supposed to be knit on 3.5 to 4.5 millimeter needles, but to me this yarn looks really thin. It looks like fingering weight yarn, but even though it's like pretty big needles, wow, okay. Anyway, I need help deciding what to do with this yarn, because I'm not entirely sure. I have seen that a lot of people make shawls out of it, and with the color variation it creates a really beautiful color for the shawls, like a really good decoration. Is it called that? Decorané, like it's, I think you understand the concept that I am looking for. But I'm not that much of such a shawl person that I would wear a shawl like those type of shawls. So I'm thinking if I can make some kind of sweater or cardigan out of this. Let me know what you think, because I've been thinking of combining it together with like another type of yarn in a solid color, a lighter solid color, and maybe make a cardigan or sweater, possibly a t-shirt out of it. Or if I can hold them double and make something out of it, because using just one strand would be a bit too thin, I think. I still don't understand how it can be 3.5 to 4.5 millimeter needles when it's such a thin yarn. But okay. So I don't know, maybe combining it with another yarn will take away some of the beautiful color variations that you can see in the yarn. But yeah, I'm not entirely sure, so please let me know what you think. If you have any ideas of what I can do with this one, I would really appreciate that. Moving on to the last thing I want to talk about, and it's not a finished object that I've had recently. This is an old finished object. I finished this one during the autumn sometime, but I'm not happy with it. Whenever I wear it, the shoulders, they just like drop off my shoulders, which I'm not a fan of, and I accidentally made it a bit too cropped, and I don't know, I'm not happy with this one. I thought I would wear it a lot. I haven't even worn it. Yeah, I've worn it once since autumn, and it's been like, I don't know, 8 months maybe. And I thought that this would be a garment that I would wear a lot during the summer, because this is worked with Drops Loves You 7, which is a cotton yarn. So I thought that it would be perfect for summer, but yeah, no, I just don't like it. I like the design of it. I like the lace here, but that's pretty much it. It has a really ugly back also. I followed the instructions. It's for the Wild and Free, I think it's just called Wild and Free on Drops Design. And this is how the back looks with like the finishing. I don't like it. So I am gonna unravel this one. I'm gonna reuse the yarn and make something else out of it. But I used almost all the yarn that I had for this one, but I want to make it longer. So I found yarn in my stash that I'm gonna combine it with, and it's also Drops Loves You 7. I bought like in the autumn, I bought like a big bunch of Drops Loves You 7, because they had released new colors and I just really like them. So, and this is the color 55. So I'm thinking of combining these two somehow. Either I'm gonna make a sweater with this as the base color, but then use the green one for the ribbing, to make longer ribbings at the sleeves and also a longer ribbing at the bottom to extend it. Or I'm gonna use this yarn to put in stripes in it. I have never made a striped shirt. I don't own any striped garments at all whatsoever, not even like non-knitted garments. So I'm not that big of a fan of stripes, but I think if I make like big chunky stripes that I would like it. And since I also have leftover from this one, I'm thinking of combining all of these ones and make a new sweater out of it that I can wear a bit better. And I have, just hold on one moment. I have this book. It's 400 knitting stitches by Pottercraft. Is that the name? Pottercraft, yeah. I got this one from my boyfriend's aunt and uncle for my birthday, and it was so lovely that they gifted this one to me. And it's a book with a lot of knitting patterns. So I'm thinking of combining some of the patterns in here, for example like these ones, and just taking a bunch of different patterns and making each stripe in a different type of pattern. So maybe green in this color, and then I could go on and make the beige one with this one, and then the light green I could make maybe a lace row or something. They also have a bunch of cables in here that I could also use for it. So I think I'm gonna do that. See, they also have lace. So yeah, that's my plan for this one. After I have finished my other works in progresses, I'm gonna start unraveling this one and make something new out of it together with these yarns. I think it's gonna be great, and then I can have some more use out of it. That was everything for this podcast episode. I don't think I have that much more to say. Please leave some comments and some suggestions on what I should make with this one. I need some inspiration. And I'm gonna link the pattern to the rose cotton headband, the free pattern that I released. It can be found on Ravelry if I didn't say that. And I hope you take care, and I will see you in my next episode. All right, bye.